having one of those days today where I really should have washed my hair. Like, I went to the gym this morning, it's all nasty and sweaty, but I was kind of lazy, so I just threw some dry shampoo in there, put it in this weird bun, and I have a hair appointment in a couple of days. So you know when you get to that point where you're just like over it? Anyways, that is not what this video is about. Today is another drugstore versus high-end video, so I'm going to be testing out liquid liners today. This is also going to serve as a first impression for the Beauty Blender liner designers because let's face it, I suck at liquid liner. I'm hoping these can help me like somewhat draw a straight acceptable eyeliner line. We shall see. So for drugstore, I'm using the Jordana Fabuliner liquid liner in the color black. This is like $2 or $3. You can get it at Walgreens. I think Ulta might have it too. And then for high end, I'm using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in the color Trooper. It's black. This is a little mini version of it, but the full size version is I think $21, so quite the price difference. I have used both of these over and over again. I've repurchased them over and over again. I've just never used them together. They have very similar like tips. They both have like the marker kind of felt tip. You know how some liquid liners have like a brush tip, some of them you dip into little pots. These both have like a marker tip. I will say, looking at them side by side right now, the Jordana one has a fatter tip and the Kat Von D one is a little bit more skinny, but they both go into a nice point on the tip. So we are going to test them out side by side and see which one works better. Before we get to putting them on my eyes, let's do swatches. So here's the Jordana Fabuliner. Nice and pigmented, goes on very opaque, it's not streaky. And here is the Kat Von D one. You can tell the difference. So this one's a tiny bit thicker, but here's what they look like up close. Okay, so that is the Jordana, that is Kat Von D. Looks like the Jordana one is bleeding a little bit. They're both already dry and I just did the swatches so you can see. Let me rub a little bit harder. Yeah, they both have really good staying power. There's a little bit of liner on my finger, but that's what they look like up close. Similar colors, similar styles, and let's do this. Okay, so I already put mascara on, and if I would have thought about it, I should have waited to put my mascara on, but that is quite all right. So we're gonna start out with high end. I always do high end on the left side. Okay. I don't know how these things are supposed to work. I thought they were just supposed to like stay. I guess not. I guess I have to hold it. That kind of sucks. Okay, I thought for some reason like it would just stick. Is that too much to ask? I also tried to go kind of light on the eyeshadow. I just did an all over lid color and then a light crease color so you can really see the eyeliner. So, okay. I think, so I'm using the straight side of this. You can see there's like a curved side and a straight side. I'm going to line it up with my lower lash line and then angle it towards the tip of my brow. Okay, I'm kind of scared. Let's do this. I am making a much straighter line than I usually do. How far am I supposed to go out? That looks good, right? Yeah, that looks good. Oh, no, that does not look good. I don't know about this liner designer. Okay, so there's what it looks like. I did mess up a little bit. Let me see if I can just wipe it off with a Q-tip. If it's that easy. Coming off okay with a Q-tip. It's kind of just like smudging it a little bit. I wonder if I wasn't supposed to go like all the way in. It's making my eyes water all the way into my inner corner. See if I can fix that a little bit. Okay, I feel like that looks acceptable. We're just gonna leave it alone. Okay, so on to the next eye. So I'm gonna try to use this liner designer. I don't know if I'm actually using it correctly. So lining it up with my lower line, angling it towards the tip of my brow. So hopefully these can be somewhat even. Okay, so I messed up a little bit with this one too. So I'm gonna see, this one does not move. It does not smudge, and I ruined my eyeshadow. Okay, let me fix my eyeshadow real quick. Okay, I'm not too sure if these wings are even. That one seems to be a little bit farther out. Okay, hold on. Other than the fact that they are not even, let's talk about the colors and the performance and things like that. So the Kat Von D one I felt was really, really pigmented, a lot more like juicy, if that makes sense. I didn't feel like it smudged or like ran into the fine lines of my eyelids. I felt like I didn't have to work with it as much or layer it up as much to get it this dark, deep, rich black color, whereas the Jordana one, I think it's not quite as pigmented. I felt like I had to kind of color in the line a little bit more and go over it twice to get that deep black, like rich black color. So that's a downside. You have to do 2 or 3 layers of the Jordana and then 1 layer of the Kat Von D. Now I think if you were wearing the Jordana by itself, like not next to the Kat Von D one, you probably could get away with 1 layer and nobody's gonna know the difference. But side by side, this one was definitely a little bit more like rich in color pigmentation, so I had to go over this a couple of times to match. Does that make sense? I felt like although the tip on this is fatter, it was a little bit harder to work with. I feel like it's not quite as flexible or like bendable, if that makes sense. So there's that, and then I'll show you the Kat Von D one. It's a little bit more like flexible. See how I can bend the tip a little bit more, which makes it easier to just like glide it across your eye and get like a nice like 1 swipe line, whereas this one was just a little bit more stiff, which I guess it just kind of depends on your preference and what works a little bit easier for you. I feel like because I'm so new with liquid liner and because I'm so terrible at liquid liner, having the flexible tip makes it a little bit easier. But other than those 2 differences, when I went in with the Q-tip to try to smudge out or erase both of them, they both didn't really smudge. In fact, the Drugstore one I think had a little bit more staying power than the Kat Von D one. Now I think the Kat Von D one needs to sit for a little bit because it is a little bit more juicy. I think it just needs a little bit more setting time. So had I waited a little bit longer, I don't think it would smudge. See, if I run my finger across it, it's not budging at all. Let's see if this one budges. Yeah, they're both, actually that one, you can see a little bit of pigment did come off on that one, whereas the Kat Von D one, nothing came off. So I think after it sets, this one will stay a little bit longer, but other than that, I think that they're pretty comparable. I'm gonna try to fix it, make them even, and then put my lashes on, and then I will check back in for my final thoughts. Alright guys, so my lash glue might still be drying a little bit, which is why there's a little bit of white on my eyes still, but overall thoughts. First of all, this sucks. This liner designer, I feel like it didn't help me at all to do anything, and I bought 2 of them. I have 2 of these guys, so I don't know, I'll play with this a little bit, but I feel like this was kind of a waste of money. I feel like you could use a straight edge of anything, a business card, and it'll work just as well, so 2 thumbs down on this. As far as the eyeliner goes, so I think overall they're comparable. The Kat Von D one was definitely easier to use. I didn't have to layer it up as much. The Jordana one, if I had never used the Kat Von D one before, I probably wouldn't really know any better, and I wouldn't know that, you know, it wasn't as pigmented, it wasn't as easy to work with. I think it's a great eyeliner, and in fact, I had the Jordana Fabuliner long before I ever had the Kat Von D liner, and I never knew any different, and I loved it. So I think it's worth the money saver. I mean, $3 compared to $21, you can't beat that. That's, I mean, the savings speak for themselves. So yeah, that is my overall thoughts. If you guys have any tips on how I could be better at liquid liner, leave those down below for me. But otherwise, let me know what you want me to test out next. I still haven't done highlighters. I'm still trying to find a drugstore highlighter that I like, actually, because there isn't a whole lot of those right now. So I haven't done highlighters, I haven't done foundations, I haven't done eyeshadow palettes, I haven't done liquid lipsticks. So let me know what you want me to test out next as far as drugstore versus high-end. I could do lashes, lash glue. Those are some cool things. So yeah, let me know what you want to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!